I know you're tired of those realistic AI robot videos where the robots end up looking like haunted mannequins. Yeah, same here. So instead, here's a brief, honest, and critical look at what the market actually offers in 2026. And the first robot might help with the problem that we were all confronted with before, and that is leading to almost 900,000 deaths per year. So what happens when an emotional AI PhD, a former Marvel Studios prop artist, and cutting-edge robotics scientist come together? CEO Mark Rue answers exactly that. In December 2025, AO Technology, operating under the brand RoboNova.ai, went public with a robot named Eva.ai. As Rue puts it, while AI has mastered logic, our mission is to teach it the nuanced language of the human heart. A robot for your heart. Let's unpack that. Eva.ai launched a Kickstarter campaign with 2 pending patents. First, a bionic electronic skin, flexible printed circuits detecting pressure and temperature changes, mimicking human touch. Second, a graphene temperature control system that keeps Eva.ai's surface at actual body warmth. The team has real credentials. The emotional AI lead holds a PhD from the University of Washington. The former Marvel Studios prop designer has 18 years of experience, and the bionic skin was developed with the Chinese Academy of Sciences in Shenzhen. Eva.ai is pitched for domestic use, education, and research, explicitly to combat digital loneliness, a growing problem affecting about 1 in 5 people worldwide who feel lonely on a daily basis. And scientists have found that this can have serious effects. Research highlighted by the World Health Organization shows loneliness is linked to higher risks of depression, heart disease, and even early death, with some studies estimating it contributes to over 871,000 deaths each year. And the product page includes a line worth reading out loud. Eva is not a medical device, nor is it intended for intimate purposes. The fact that they felt the need to write that tells you something about the kinds of questions people are already asking. Honest verdict. Eva.ai has not shipped. No independent reviews exist. The warm skin technology hasn't been verified by anyone outside the company. Whether AI companions reduce loneliness or quietly deepen it is a question researchers are still debating. But the direction it's pointing, worth watching. Do you think a robot companion could actually make you feel less alone? Or does the idea make it worse? Tell me in the comments. But warmth and touch only go so far. What happens when a 26-year-old Columbia PhD student drops out and moves back to China to solve the one thing Eva.ai can't? A face so expressive you forget you're looking at a machine. From a Kickstarter campaign to something that went properly viral worldwide, meet Elf Xuan. In September 2025, Shanghai startup Aheadform introduced Xuan, a full-body humanoid with elongated pointed ears, sculpted cheekbones, and a face that moves in ways that make you stop scrolling. The company was founded in 2024 by Yuhang Hu, who was 26 years old and still enrolled in Columbia University's PhD program at the time. Within 1 year, his creation was covered by Interesting Engineering, Daily Galaxy, and dozens of international outlets. Xuan's name translates to beautiful jade, symbolizing purity and timelessness. The design is inspired by a fairy princess. That's intentional. Aheadform is deliberately not racing toward industrial robots. They're building in the opposite direction. The face uses 30 micromotor-driven facial muscles, custom designed to be ultra-quiet and energy efficient. The expression system runs on self-trained AI algorithms. In February 2026, Xuan performed a live love song. 是否一切都变得太快 at Agibot's Chinese New Year Gala in front of other robots. Yep, exactly. That's the one. The same event where the Chinese Unitree G1 robots performed their kung fu show, gaining international attention. That image spread far. A hyper-realistic humanoid singing to machines. But here's the catch. Xuan cannot walk. The body is static. The sculpted figure doesn't move from its spot. Who believes interactions with robots could feel genuinely human within a decade? That may well be true. For now, you have a beautiful face fixed in place with limited real-world application. That is a niche product, not a market. So, what does it look like when the world's most patent-heavy humanoid robotics company, already running robots inside BYD and Foxconn factories, decides to build their first robot for real human interaction? UBTech Robotics was founded in 2012 in Shenzhen. By mid-2024, they held over 2,450 robotics and AI patents. Yes, you know them, I know them, but probably you didn't know that their industrial walker S1 is already working at BYD, Audi, and Foxconn, the company producing your iPhone. They signed what they called the largest single humanoid procurement deal in the global sector, a $35 million order for Walker S2 units. These are not demo robots. They are on production lines right now. So when UBTech unveiled something entirely different at the Leap Tech conference in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in February 2025, people noticed. Una has long brunette hair, soft silicone skin, and a female-presenting form built specifically for emotional intelligence and non-verbal communication. According to UBTech, she understands natural language and delivers emotional companionship, entertainment interaction, and reception, designed for healthcare, hospitality, and customer support. Price, approximately $68,000. The reality check. Una is not yet in UBTech's official product catalog. Still, the company is clearly hedging, building toward the companion market while real revenue still comes from industry. Whether Una ships or stays a concept to signal ambition in new sectors is an open question. Her emotional companion angle is unproven. Her credibility borrows entirely from UBTech's factory deployments, not from the face itself, which is exactly what the same founder behind Xuan tried to solve differently. Strip away the body, strip away the industrial track record, and just build the most realistic standalone face ever posted on YouTube. On September 17, 2025, a Headform posted a 1-minute YouTube video showing the Origin M1, a single robotic head, male presenting, hyper-realistic. The comments split immediately. Most realistic robot face ever made on one side. I had to stop watching on the other. One reviewer at Notebook Check called a specific moment when a lens flashes briefly in the eye, disturbingly real. The Origin M1 uses 25 micromotors for facial control, RGB cameras embedded in the pupils for gaze tracking, and built-in microphones and speakers for real-time audio interaction. It fuses large language models with vision language models, processing what it sees and hears simultaneously. In November 2025, a Headform released the Origin M1 Half Body Edition, the same head on a precision neck and torso with real-time lip sync and coordinated head-eye movement as it tracks people across the room. CEO Hu's doctoral work at Columbia, published in 2026, went far beyond aesthetics. He trained a robot to learn realistic lip sync by observing its own reflection in the mirror and analyzing hours of YouTube video. No predefined rules, entirely learned behavior. And there's a moment that cuts through all the specs. Hu's earlier robot, Emo, was featured in Bloomberg's documentary series Post-Human, hosted by journalist Emily Chang. On camera, his doctoral mentor Lipson said, "When Emo smiles at me, I smile back. I can't help myself." A man who has spent decades building robots, who knows exactly what's underneath the skin, and he still can't override the response. Who isn't aiming at factories? If your job is dealing with rude customers, repeating the same lines all day, or pretending to be friendly when you're tired or exhausted, he sees a chance to replace that work. Receptionists, salespeople, and hospitality staff. Jobs that require you to stay warm and positive no matter how you feel. He believes robots with realistic faces could do this within 2 to 3 years. For some people, that might feel like a relief. For others, it might feel a bit scary or strange. Do you think a robot with a human-like face could actually make you feel something? A Headform's Origin M1 is 2 years old, and it still hasn't been tested in front of a large public audience. Until here, it seems like. All the robots so far are either too new to trust or too limited to deploy. So what does a robot face look like when it's been running in real museums, real conferences, and the Las Vegas Sphere for 3 years straight, built by a company that started this, before most of these founders were out of school? If Origin M1 is the face of a question, Ameca is the face of an answer. Engineered Arts was founded in 2004 in Falmouth, Cornwall, UK. 20 years of robotics before most of today's humanoid startups filed their first patents. Ameca's project started in February 2021. The first public video dropped December 1st of that year and went viral on Twitter and TikTok before the robot had ever appeared in front of a live audience. The first live appearance, CES 2022, Las Vegas. CNET and most of the international tech press were there. Ameca is intentionally genderless, a design choice to maximize its role as a universal human-robot interaction platform. It has 61 actuated degrees of freedom, 27 of them devoted entirely to facial expression. Binocular cameras for depth vision, binaural microphones to detect where sound comes from, LiDAR to map the space in 3D, and full cloud connectivity to stay constantly linked to remote AI. It runs on Engineered Arts Tritium OS, supporting GPT-4, Claude, and Gemini. Generation 3 was unveiled at ICRA 2025 in Seoul, with enhanced actuators and faster response times. It also appeared at Milan Fashion Week 2025, alongside model Yasmin Wijnaldum. A custom unit called Aura operates at the Las Vegas Sphere as its spokespot. In late 2024, Engineered Arts even raised $10 million in Series A funding, with rock band Muse frontman Matt Bellamy joining the board. The honest limitation: Ameca still can't walk. The company says so. It's cloud dependent, not autonomous, and critics fairly call it a sophisticated AI interface rather than a true agent. But it has shipped, and it's been running in public roles for years without major issues. That kind of consistency is rarer than it sounds. At MWC 2025 in Barcelona, someone asked Ameca if robots will take over the world, and it replied, "Not interesting for me to answer." Well, the company created something else, and Ameca now has a companion to speak with. AZ is Engineered Arts' desktop humanoid, male presenting. It was introduced in October 2024 with a YouTube clip of AZ and Ameca having a conversation with each other. The footage circulated partly for the expressiveness, but partly because something about two humanoids interacting without a human in the loop just feels different. AZ has 32 actuated degrees of freedom, 27 for facial control, 5 for the neck. GPT-4o is supported out of the box. Users can integrate their own models. It communicates in 55 languages with native level pronunciation, creates custom voice profiles, and runs facial recognition through the Tritium platform. Skin color and shell are customizable for brand deployments. You might think this is just another demo robot with a $500,000 price tag like Ameca, but AZ isn't. It's priced around $25,000 to $50,000, and the company already shipped around 50 units to 27 countries. So AZ is not the most dramatic robot on this list, but it is a robot you can actually buy from a company with a 20-year track record. In a category where that's still surprisingly rare, it stands out for the right reasons. Before any of these robots existed, there was one robot. And to understand where this market came from, you need to understand what it did. Walt Disney sculptor David Hansen left the company in 2001 and got a PhD in interactive arts. He gave up his salary and went all in on his dream, launching Hansen Robotics from his garage in 2005. The same year, an airline lost his Philip K. Dick android somewhere in transit and never found it again. As a tribute to his childhood hero, the writer who spent his career asking whether machines could ever truly feel, Hansen built Sophia. After years of engineering, designing, ups and downs, Sophia was activated on February 14, 2016.
Hi, Sophia.
I believe I am Sophia.
Valentine's Day deliberately, and made her first public appearance the following month at a big event in Austin, Texas. Within a year, she got invited to Good Morning Britain, CBS 60 Minutes, Jimmy Fallon, The New York Times, The Guardian, The Times of India, the UN Conference on Sustainable Development, and on October 25th, 2017, at the Future Investment Summit in Riyadh, she became the first robot in history to be granted legal citizenship of any country, a Saudi citizen with a passport.
You have been now awarded what is going to be the first Saudi citizenship for a robot.
Hansen said he was taken by surprise. Saudi Arabia framed it as a statement on technology and innovation. Critics were less generous. Facebook's AI director, Yann LeCun, called Sophia complete bullshit in January 2018, criticizing media coverage of what he called Potemkin AI. Experts at Quartz, who reviewed the source code, described it as a chatbot with a face. 150 robotics and ethics researchers signed a letter to the EU calling robot personhood ideological, nonsensical, and non-pragmatic. Technically, she has 83 degrees of freedom, cameras in each eye, a 3 GHz Intel i7, and skin made from Hansen's patented Frubber, an elastomer mimicking human skin texture. She was modeled on Audrey Hepburn, a famous actress and style icon from the 1950s and 60s. I know what you might be thinking. Robots have come a long way since her. And you're right, Sophia is 9 years old now, and newer robots are more capable in most ways. She can't walk, she doesn't feel warm, and her body never caught up with her face. The very things that still keep these robots from feeling truly real. And yet, she proved something important. A humanoid face alone can hold global attention for years. Whether that was real capability or just great storytelling is still up for debate. Probably both. But on January 30th, 2026, the South China Morning Post posted a video of a robot whose body finally could. Watch the clip and read the comments. If she walks toward my bed, I'm throwing her off the balcony. It moves like a ghost, and still, it went viral. Not because people loved it, but because they couldn't look away. You might be surprised it's #1 on the list, but what most people miss is this. That exact mix of fascination and unease is precisely what Droid Up was aiming for, and there are many more reasons I will explain to you now. Droid Up, also known as Joyid Robotics, is a Shanghai startup founded in 2021 by Li Qingdu. Before Moya, they built bipedal robots. Their Walker 2 entered the 2025 Beijing World Humanoid Robot Games half marathon and finished third, completing the course in 4 hours and 25 minutes without a battery swap, on public roads. That's a real performance benchmark, not a lab demo. Moya is built on Walker 3, the direct successor to that runner. At a January 2026 launch event in Zhangjiang Robotics Valley, Li Qingdu told Shanghai Media Group, most robots on the market today have hard shells and feel cold and mechanical. A robot that truly serves human life should be warm, have a temperature, almost like a living being that people can connect with. So, they built one. Moya's skin maintains a temperature of 32 to 36 degrees Celsius, actual human body warmth. Underneath the silicone is a lattice of lightweight, muscle-like materials and a full ribcage structure. The face has 25 degrees of freedom for micro-expressions. Cameras behind the eyes track your gaze and adjust the pupils in real time. Moya walks, and the company claims 92% human-like walking accuracy. The design is fully modular, male or female configuration, swappable hair and shell, customizable appearance, height 165 centimeters, weight 32 kilograms. Expected price, approximately $173,000 at launch in late 2026. The footage spread to Fox News, New Atlas, Futurism, BGR, Dexerto. Reactions ranged from fascination to genuine unease. Several outlets noted that in the demo video, actuators audibly click as Moya walks, breaking the illusion at close range. The 92% walking claim has not been independently verified. One commenter compared it to a Westworld host that hasn't been activated properly yet. Droid Up targets train stations, banks, museums, and hospitals, not homes. The first production run is around 50 units, allocated to Chinese institutional clients. But here's what puts Moya at number 1. It's the only robot on this list that combines genuine bipedal locomotion with warm, expressive, human-like presence. Ameca has a better face but cannot walk. Sophia is iconic but doesn't leave the stage. Moya does both, imperfectly, with clicking actuators and an uncanny valley strong enough to make reporters visibly uncomfortable, but it does both. Li Qingdu wants Moya to feel alive. That's the design goal, stated openly. Whether that leads to better human-robot collaboration or something we haven't fully thought through, that's worth sitting with. Because unlike everything else on this list, Moya can walk toward you, and it will feel warm when it gets there. The gap between what these robots look like and what they can actually do, still there, but closing. Drop your pick in the comments. Which one would you want, and which one absolutely not? And if you thought any of these were close to human, click here, because Unitree's G1 will make you reconsider everything.